Deputy Commissioner ke East Khas Hills District Abhilash Baranwal, IAS uluang baya ke jingbit ke bala Asia ke KSU ban pelong ya ke jingiakhih shongkyllain mungor la syai ke si ke arpuai trik unailar arjar arpunriu ha khyndailad la pyndam no na ke daw bala mi ke jing kelumar na ke jingiai pai ba ke bait rally ke sarkar Meghalaya ke ngej ha ke ta ke jing sensyar pai ba bat kinong shong ki dan ya ke hok ban penpau ya ke jing persya ke jongki bat ha ke ni ke kenti ke bamenta kilapan jingbit bandon ke ta ke jingiai pai ba ke bejai-jai kum ta ke sarkar ru ke kuaban ailat wala kata kedan kijeng so dena kata kedau lebu ya ki pulit ban pahara ki jaka bat baro ki dan ars pa ngot ai hendrai nemar ke jeng jrong kalenti don ki jaka beduna ki lashim kabub ya kata bat ki bala pentikna ki dan khan rengot ki bre ki bala syasyo Deputy Commissioner ke East Khas Hills habakran hakilat pathai ke bor ulong ba ki bor jong ke district ki lai jeng bit ban yat pai ba halor ki kendon ki ba perkheng ba bakin sedang na jaya ha ke porsau baje bat ya sau dong ke sor shlong na kaliang jong ke sarkar kelapansan company ke kenhon jong ki pulit CRPF bat ki kenhon pulit Rapid Action Force ringkat ki pulit ke district ban pentikna bakan nom don show kuno ke jingja bala don ki bakwa ban syem ya ke an ha ke keti kengat ha ki kendon ke an bala kentu ya ki pai ba ban don ke jingi trailang habaya de ber ke jingja ka khat kendai trik unailar arjar apun riu la deb ban ujor da ki ijahar pat ke jing toket menta kadang yat la ban ong ka dena kenu kaliang pat ke jing toket kan sekren ya ki a bro la itu bah kepor bagi prit ki lecha ke office ke KSU hajayau la dan bakawang petrol bom ha keni ke jingja ki prit ke pendan kam uwe ustan granit pat siat ya ki tendang pensat khmat ban pen prayau pai ba ki bala persya mentur sha ki pulit.
The rally started from Jayau at around 4 p.m. It ended at Jayau at around 4 p.m. Went around the town, and in a series of locations, several incidents of vandalism, arson, and assault of innocent bystanders were reported. And simultaneously, as was reported, there was desecration of statue of national icons like Swami Vivekananda and freedom fighter Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. So that's the basically factual account of yesterday what has happened. The district administration strongly condemns what has happened yesterday because an incident like this, a series of assaults which can vitiate the peaceful atmosphere of the city, has no place in a civilized and peaceful society. Incidents like these have a very negative bearing on all the efforts being made by the government of Meghalaya in promoting Meghalaya as not only a national but international tourist destination which is intricately linked to the livelihood promotion of the people. And not just that, one must understand that an incident like this, I'm not saying that it will have, God forbid it should not have, but may have a repercussion on our people who are living outside Meghalaya. We are already seeing that near Jorabad, basically Meghalaya vehicles are being stopped. 1 or 2 vehicles, if I'm not mistaken, have been vandalized. So district administration and the government of Meghalaya is taking it up strongly with the counterpart administration and government. But however, the problem is that these repercussions will further deter the youths of Meghalaya in pursuing employment opportunities outside the state. For example, around 20,000 job opportunities have been recently notified by MSSDS across different parts of the state. We are anyway finding it difficult to mobilize the youth for that, for availing these opportunities. Any possible repercussion in any part of the country will further vitiate that trust. So that's why, we strongly condemn the incident, and finally at the night, the police had apprehended 3 leaders of the organization, and they had also gone to the office of the organization at Jayau, where after the intervention of the community, they came back. See, first of all, we are aware of the past incidents. However, the government of Meghalaya believes in democratic expression of right of expression of protest. Now, if some organization does apply lawfully for any permission, in the past, if I would like to brief the media that many a times these protests, etc., have been carried out without seeking any permission. This time they had sought permission. Simultaneously, if there is a legal application which has been submitted for a peaceful protest, which we were led to believe would be peaceful, we wanted to facilitate that under strict conditions. That's why the permission letter, we'll be sharing a copy of the same with you guys, wherein we had put down strict conditions so as to ensure that while we facilitate this democratic right of protest, no inconvenience should be caused to the public. We had apprehensions, and that's why we had put security deployment. Around 200 security people were there on the ground. However, now as we see that the route was quite long, and there were pockets in which they could take advantage of maybe not enough deployment of security forces, and whatever happened. So while issuing permission as well, we did take into account these kind of apprehensions. That's why there were strict conditions. That's why security deployment was there. A permission to organize protests is not a permission to assault, to vandalize, to arson, to hurt children. So that is very clear. Whether our response during the course of rally was sufficient or not is something which we'll examine. It's a very dynamic situation. As you mentioned that it was not really an isolated incident. It kept on occurring throughout the rally. Now, I would like to request to everyone to not see it as that the district administration allowed a violent rally, to go on a rampage. It was a 3-hour rally in which, as we were receiving inputs, we were trying to respond to the same. But as the situation continued to evolve, and it was a dynamic situation, there were incidents which could still happen. But then it was not like the police was, we were not really responding. It's just that it was happening so fast that maybe at times our response was not swift enough. And private vehicles have been damaged. 16 confirmed reports of assault of individuals have taken place. 2 statues of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose and Swami Vivekananda have been vandalized, and simultaneously 2 vehicles, one is a government vehicle and one is a private vehicle bearing registration from outside, they have been torched. And I would like to again take this opportunity to inform you that even when this permission was given to KSU for the bike rally, at that time also through formal informal communication, we had, not just us, police had also tried to establish communication with them, and we were assured that it's going to be a peaceful rally, that there's not going to be any repeat of past incidents. And even though we did put conditions, but then that assurance did come to us from the organization through formal informal means. However, since the conditions were violated, since a series of vandalism, arson and assault cases were reported yesterday, any such permission, the permission which has been given for their sit-in protest for tomorrow, we will be revoking this. Police already is examining the evidence. There were a lot of people who were involved in vandalism, arson, assault, and police is trying to identify them, and there will be. So basically it's a part of investigation. As part of investigation, whoever they find have been involved in these kind of activities, they are going to try and arrest them. People who have been involved in this arson and assault and vandalization. And police did what it was supposed to do. The action was extremely limited to the office of the organization. They went there with the purpose of arresting individuals, and that's why, and any use of tear gas and the use of one stem grenade was only necessitated by the fact that they were attacked by a petrol bomb from the organization. So that's why 5 additional companies of CAPF, including one company of RAF, has been called and deployed. We are trying to make sure, along with along with district police, we are trying to make sure that no further incidents happen, and any miscreant or anyone who tries to take law into their own hands will be dealt strictly. We want to appeal to all the people of Shillong and East Khasi Hills that they should cooperate with the district administration, police administration. We assure them that we are committed to their safety and security, And if there is anything, they must report to police so that timely action can be taken. But simultaneously, we also want to encourage them to not indulge in rumor mongering, and simultaneously basically cooperate with the law enforcement agencies. So see, the rally conditions have been violated. Accordingly, the moment there is a condition in the permission itself that if these conditions are violated, it becomes an unlawful assembly. The permission stands revoked. So it becomes an unlawful assembly. Accordingly, FIR has been filed. Investigation is under process. As you are aware, that police has apprehended the 3 leaders of the organization, and simultaneously all efforts are underway to try and identify those people who were individually also involved in arson, vandalism and assault. See, any argument has to be examined against the evidence which is there with us. In this case, if you will see, at the start of the rally itself, there were several individuals who were armed with sticks, rods, number plates were covered, they had masks on their faces. Simultaneously, it was not just a couple of incidents which happened along a long route. There were a series of incidents. If you examine these evidences, I don't think that the argument is very consistent with the evidence. I'm not really going to see, it's a matter of investigation. Ultimately, FIR has been filed, whether it was pre-planned, whether it was conspired, whether it was instigated, or whether it was actually some unruly and antisocial elements which tried to hijack their rally. It's something which will be borne out in investigation, and it will be, it's for judiciary to decide. However, as of now, since the incident has happened yesterday only, we have to examine any argument against the evidence which is available with us. And the evidence is there for everyone to see. It's out there in social media, it's there on media channels. It's up to everyone's guess whether the event was pre-planned, or whether they were members of the organization, or they were actually unruly elements which tried to take advantage of the bike rally.
So, tomorrow, in fact, they have called